Hello everyone, let's go over the WebAssign graphing tool. This graphing tool allows us to graph. And so let's talk about the buttons on the left. The first button that you see is the pointer, and obviously it just points at things. It doesn't do anything. The second one is a line. So if you click on this line, it'll expand and it'll give you three things. So the first one is it has two arrows to the side, you notice. This means your line would keep going. The second one is called a ray. That means we have a stopping point on the left side and an arrow on the right side. The last one is called a segment. That means we have stopping points on both. These are going to be the closed dots. You can change these, but in this case, they're included. So all three things are very different. If you notice, none of them are highlighted right now. And you actually have to pick one. So if I wanted to pick this first one, I would click it and you notice it's highlighted. In order to draw a line, you need 2 points. So if I come on here on my graph, on my coordinate plane, I'm going to click on 1 point and it's going to click on the next point, and that's going to create my line. If you notice here, I can point at the arrows on the left and an arrow on the right. I can make this more clear kind of by selecting another tool. You now see the line more clearly. That is very different from this. So now I've selected this and you see it's highlighted. It has an ending point and an arrow on one side. As always, you need 2 points to make that appear. This one, let's give it an actual slope. Let's click here and let's click here for the next one. And so you see we have a stopping point and this line only grows in one direction. These are very different. The first one we drew has an arrow in both directions. This is what we use normally in our sections. And then the second one has an arrow in one direction. And we have the last one, I can draw a segment. So a segment, as usual, has to have 2 points. But in this case, you see that the arrow, there is no arrows, and the line is just between these 2 points. To make that line appear in a sense, right now it's light, it's blue, I can just click on anything else. In this case, I'm clicking on the left side. And so you see these 3 different types of lines. Once again, the first one is a line. It has arrows in both directions. You do require these 2 points. The second one is called a ray, and it has still 2 points. Here was my first point, here's my second point, but we have an arrow going in one direction. And this last one is called a segment. Again, we need the 2 points. And there will only be a line in the middle, in a sense. Where do these 2 points come from? It really depends on how you are graphing. For example, let's go ahead and clear all. This will erase everything. You can erase things one at a time. If I wanted to erase the first line I drew, I can click here and it'll delete it. I can click here, or I can clear all and it'll clear everything. Again, using this line tool, you have to pick it up. So I picked it up. Depending on how you like to graph you all. If you like a T table, then you're going to use your T table, fill in your X values, and then find your Y values. And then you just pick 2 points that you find on your T table. Me, personally, I like to start with my y-intercept, for example. So if my y-intercept, I'm just making this up here, if my y-intercept was 4 and then my slope was rise of 2 and over 1, then that creates my line. And then I can just click on anything else on the left, anywhere, and this creates your line, and you're ready to go with this graph. And that is an explanation on how to use the line tool.